Hey everybody, how's it going today? Hopefully you're able to keep ahead of all of the crazy stuff that we have going on in our lives. Let's check and make sure that this is working. Yep, looks like we're able to air it just fine. I have to check now because we've had some issues in the past year with a lot of things happening at once with broadcasting to Be Live, and then we have a problem with it just never does broadcast fully to Facebook. That's what happened before. And, Be Live was aware of this and they were trying to fix the problem. So once in a while, there's a glitch where something like that happens. So you just have to, bear with me if that happens with technology. Sometimes things happen and it's not always perfect, but it looks like we're good today. We've got everything up and running. It looks like it's showing fine. So let's dive in. I am at canva.com. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is how to create Pinterest pins quick and easy. This is a common pain point. So inside of the Pin Traffic Power group and also inside of the course group, either group, if you're in one of them with Pin Traffic Power, I posted a poll a couple of days ago, I think yesterday, of asking, what is the problem area? What is the pain point? And kind of start to address some of those things that could help you out a little bit better and be able to create more materials, do whatever needs to be done to help your business grow and to really simplify this and put it into a great working system for you. So let's take a look at canva.com. And when I'm over here, I'm in the Find Templates section. Okay. Now, before we do that, I want to give you some examples of what you're seeing, some things here that are already been done by my team members. Okay, so I have some VAs who are creating some of these, a lot of these for me because I don't have time to create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these pins. And it really does take thousands of them. So when I go to my team stream and I have my team right inside of my Canva account, they use my Canva account, they have their own login, they have their own user stuff. But what I'm able to do is share with them the folders that I want to share or not share at different times. And so they use that material and even upload some of it into folders for me inside of Canva. And you can see what they're doing here. These are mostly focused on shirts right now, and they're going out in different places. So some of them are from Amazon, some of them might be Sunfrog, different places. And you can see what we're doing with the shirts. We have multiple pictures on each one. We've got a text overlay and colors, different kinds of colors. We're testing out a variety of colors. Some are no color. Maybe it's just on the text that's the color. But I literally have hundreds of these a week that are produced, and then we send them out. We get them scheduled out using Tailwind and go from there. So my VA, who is the head in charge of this, she is having 5 produced of each one. So she actually has 5 completely different looking pins for each product page, which is pretty cool. And we're testing that as well because it's going to give it a further reach. And we're going to see what pins are going to do the best. And then you can look down in here. We're seeing more stuff that is for my blog. So first you saw product pins, and now you're taking a look at what the blog pins look like. And that's going to drive people into those blog posts where I'm able to monetize it in different ways. I can monetize my blog posts with products that I'm selling through affiliate sales. By driving the traffic in, I'll also be able to run ads and have an ad going where I'm making money from this ad company as well. So it just runs in the background. There's a lot of different things and different ways of doing this. So now we're back into products again. And I send over, I have a big spreadsheet list of all the stuff that we need to create pins for, whether it's for me or for clients. And we just go down through the list and we just start making stuff like this. So I'm gonna show you a quick and easy way to do this. And it's by actually using templates that are already in Canva. So a lot of my VAs do that. I have templates too that I've created and made and send over to them. But I think they're having a lot of fun with using the templates that are here inside of Canva. So when you go to find templates, there's all kinds of stuff. And you don't need to focus on ones that say just for Pinterest. You really don't. You could use any one of these. It doesn't matter what category that Canva has categorized it for. It could be anything because we're just going to resize it. That's all we're going to do. So if you see something that looks really cool and you want to use that, then we can definitely do that and adapt it. So this is kind of funny. Let's pretend that you've got some pizza t-shirts. Let's use this one. And I'm going to click on use this template. And these templates are actually created by other people that are on Canva. So that's pretty cool. If you want to create a template, you can. And what you do is you come up here where it says show team. And when you hit make public, what that means is other people can use that template and you can publish this template. So publish this template, make public, and other people can actually use it. And it would be free to everybody, okay? Now to resize this, we're going to you can go to resize if you want to, and you could just click on this basic size. This is the minimum size requirements that Pinterest says we need to have, 735 pixels by 1102. You could just do that. You could also, let's say that you need it for a blog post too. You need one for Pinterest, you need one for a blog post, maybe you need one for Facebook, which I think they just say is social media. Maybe you need one for Twitter. I mean, you can check mark any one of those. And then you click on abracadabra and it will resize it where you have a size for each one. And it will just create multiple pages for you. Okay. So you can do a whole bunch at once for different places in social media, not just Pinterest. That's what's really cool about Canva is you can do things pretty quick. So instead, I'm just going to focus on Pinterest. I'm going to go to File, and I don't want this basic size here for Pinterest. This is okay, but I want mine a little bigger. I want to maximize the space so I can fit more products on the pin or more words or something more. And I like to maximize it, go as much as I possibly can in Pinterest, as long as it still shows up in the feed okay without the pin being cut off. Now, there has been some news lately about the possibility of Pinterest shortening these pins, not meaning that they have a certain, they're creating a new guideline possibly of how long the pin will be before it cuts off in the feed. But I have not noticed any of the pins that I've created where that's happened. If it does happen, then you just make your length of the pin just a little bit shorter, not go quite so long. So it's not a big deal, just resize it. Okay, so I want to change the dimensions, but I don't want it to be the default resizing over here. And oh, by the way, the Facebook post is right here. That's what it is. It's currently a Facebook post. That's why the resizing for a Facebook post was not an option, because it already is sized for a Facebook post. So that's how you can tell what the sizes are. Currently, in case you forgot to look like I did before we actually said we're going to use that template, because I really didn't care what the sizing was. We're going to change dimensions. And I'm going to use custom dimensions because I want to make up my own. And I'm going to make this way bigger. Way bigger. Okay. I even want it bigger than the 735 by 1102, but you need to do at least that as the minimum, 735 by 1102. Okay. Now what I can do with this is I can make this, if I still want to keep this border, I can make it and adapt it to where, like, hey, I think that would be cool to have a border around the whole thing. That's kind of fun and cool and different. And I can just use the same font and the words. That might be cute. Maybe you just change the saying to be something different. Or maybe you just want a border around just the words so that the words really pop out. So we might keep it at that. You can always add more stuff with these elements over here. But a quick and easy way for you to do pictures, pop your pictures in to your pin and where it's going to show up and look good is to use these Canva layouts over here. Actually, not the Canva layouts. If you do the Canva layout, it will change this whole big image because we've got this as a layout that we chose. So it's not going to be the Canva layouts. You can do your pin in a different way using Canva layouts. We're going to go to elements instead. And I want to do, you can either do frames or you could do grids. Either one. These frames, it's hard to tell, but like this, there's actually 2 pictures, 2 slots. Here's 3 slots. I've learned that the hard way by playing around with it. Here's 3 up and down. So it can be hard to tell. So the other option is the grid. And the grid is a little easier to tell. And you can see that there is possibly a slight separation in the grid also. So for example, I might want 2 big boxes like this. I don't want one bigger box and a smaller box where it's uneven. Or maybe I want 2 put together like this. Now, notice how it covers up the pin. It does that default, but you don't have to do that. You just, you know, pull at the corners and resize it down how you want it to be. And if I want it bigger, I can make it bigger. If I want it smaller, I can make it smaller. You see how easy that is? I am going to have a little bit of the background color peek through with this line in between those 2 pictures, and that's okay. Maybe that's what I want. And it looks cool. And then you can move this around. See how there's this purple line that shows up as a guideline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave space down here for a logo, for your company logo. So let's pop some pictures in. Let's do an upload of some pictures. We're going to pretend that these are about pizza when they're not. And we're going to say that that one's about pizza and it's not. See how I just pop it in there? And I can actually shift and move it around a little bit if I want. And we'll do this one as well. So we're going to say that those are shirts about pizza when they're not really. And so this is what it looks like. If you want to see more of the shirt, you just do it like that. Now, if you like that look, great. If you think, I don't know, it's just, it looks long and it's different, it's, you know, kind of strange looking, then you say, maybe I don't care for that. So what I'm going to do is click on this whole thing, come up here, trash it, and I want to delete the entire element. And we're going to try it again. Let's try maybe just one box where I can get a bigger box. And then we're going to take this and click copy to get 2 boxes that we can put side by side. Or maybe I want one box here and another box down here. I could even have them overlapping slightly. You see? Get creative with this. If you are hiring a VA, encourage your VA to be creative. Don't try to fit your VA in a box. Allow them to come up with some creative ideas too, because they probably can. I mean, if they're working in here more often than what you are, they probably can come up with some really cool ideas, but they're afraid to do it for fear that you may not like the result because it's not following just exactly what you said. Well, you know what? Let them make choices. Do you see how I did that? And so now we have, you know, overlapping shirts. This would be better if it was a PNG, and these are not PNGs. They're JPEGs with a white background. So let's say I want to find, let's see if I can find some with their PNGs instead. Here's some PNGs. They're not shirts, but they'll work. Oh yeah, that's right. The PNGs don't fit in here. I forgot about that. Okay, well, no problem. You know, you could just, if it's a PNG, then you don't need this box anyways, and you could erase it totally because the PNGs are not going to fit in here. Actually, I think there was something, if I recall. You could crop it, you could flip it, you can filter it. You can do arranging forwards and backwards of stuff, which is cool. There's where your copy is. There's your transparency if you want to change a color of any kind. Yeah, and it says that cutout transparent images can't be put in frames. Try using a photo instead. So if I am doing this method, then I really will need to take JPEGs. And we're going to end up with that white. So what you could do is you could leave it at that, but it would be cool if the white wasn't there, if I were to do it this way. So maybe I would say, well, I'm not going to do overlapping in this method. I'm just going to do it differently, maybe do side by side. And resize both boxes down to the point that you can get them together in a way where you can see it. There are other grids as well. Okay, so let's take those out and let's take a look at some other grids. And I'm going to delete these elements out and show you other ways of doing this. That's very easy. So it's under elements. And these are the grids right here. Maybe I want a square of 4. Or I could get 4 products in here like this. And notice how they're all spaced out for me, so I don't have to worry about trying to space them. If I only wanted 2, here's a trick. You blow up. If you want them perfectly spaced for you, up and down like this, where you're not having to fiddle with each box separately, and it keeps the spacing. This is actually faster. You do this, you blow it up. Pull from the corner, blow it up, okay? Now what I'm going to do is position this. And let's see if I can blow it up all the way over to here. Keep making it bigger. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm blowing it up to the point that it's covering everything. Now look at, it's really, there's 2 more over here. But we don't want to use those. So you blow it up big enough to where it's not on the pin. It's not there anymore. Cool trick, huh? Keeps everything evenly spaced for you. It's a lot faster to do it that way than it is to take one box like this and try and juggle it around and make it how you want it to be. And then we just pop in our pictures. Let's see here. These would have to be JPEGs for this. So I could pop in like, and I just set it in there and it will go. And maybe I want to do this one, set it in there and go. And it looks like that. All right. So it's a different way of it sitting that way. If I wanted it side by side, let's see. You move it around like this and we position it like this. It would have to be at the very end of your pin though, is kind of the issue. Make it a little smaller. You see how we did that? Oh, the issue is it's going to look funny, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be side by side. Although that's kind of fun though. People be looking at it like, huh, I can't see it. So probably not a good idea. I thought I would experiment and see if that would work. So let's trash that element. And what you do is you look for other elements up here where there's other grids that you can use. So here's a 4x4. You might want to find a 2x2. There is a 2x2 that's not side by side in here somewhere. You really have to poke around. I wish there was a way that we could save them that we like. That would be a lot better. For Amazon, if you have 5, you could have feature 1 and 4 on the bottom. So we get 5 colors in Merch by Amazon. You could pick one to be the main image and then your other 4 colors down below to show people that you have 4 colors. Okay, move this to where you want it to be. See how easy that is? So you've got one great big one where they can see the design on the shirt close up. And then down here is 4 that are a smaller size. Why? Because it's going to help the person see that I don't have it in just a black color, but it's also in blue and red and green and purple. Okay, so if someone only sees one picture and it's one color, they may say, yeah, that's not my favorite color. And if you're making all your pins that way, you might be losing customers because they're very literal sometimes, where they think that what you have is in the exact color that they see on the pin. So if you're not showing all of the colors on the pin, then you might be losing some possible shoppers because they're not going to click through that pin to go find out that you have other colors. So remember that your pin is actually your storefront. This is where you need to make sure that people can see what you have to offer before they actually go over to your website or your page. So if you really do have a shirt in 5 colors, get all 5 colors on here. That's what I would do. That's what I actually do. And if you have, let's say like in Sunfrog, there might be 4 or 5 different designs. You take those 4 clothing designs that are different and you pop them in here. So you make one a sweatshirt, one a t-shirt, one a tank top, one a long sleeve shirt, one a sweatshirt, so that they see that it's not just a t-shirt, but now we've got hoodies and we've got tank tops and there's other choices besides that. And you get that all on your pin. So use these grids over here to help you on top of your template if you want to. Now, do you have to use a grid? No, absolutely not. You could take your pictures. So for example, when I have the PNGs, if I wanted to use those PNGs, which I do, and I love it because I can size them and, you know, I can do really fun stuff with it. And I could, you know, pretend that these are pizza mugs. And, you know, I can do that. I don't have to have a grid or a frame or any of that. That's what's cool about PNGs. I can even, look at this. I can even lay them over the top of each other without a problem. So if I want to build a mountain of coffee mugs, I can, which I have done on pins before, which is kind of fun, where you sit and you build like a little mountain. If I want this one, so for example, let's say that, let's make this one smaller. Let's say that I want this one to lay over the top of this one. Okay, what I do is I click on this one and I go to arrange and I go backward. See how that worked? So now I've got this mug that is going to appear over the top of this one because maybe that's what I want. And then vice versa. I can arrange it and make that one go backward. And now this mug is in front of the other one. So you can do things to make it look very realistic in that way. Very similar to Photoshop in many ways, but it's actually faster. It's faster to fire up Canva than it is other places. If I wanted to include other elements, I certainly can. Let's try a different, whoops, not the layouts. We don't want layouts on this one. Let's try another element. Let's, instead of grids, let's try frames and see what we got in here going on. Here is a frame. Again, this, I don't like the rectangular as well because it can look kind of weird with the shirts. But you have to try and find out. And once you get a system down, then what I can do is turn this into a template, and then you share it with your VA and they just make that a template, you know, create that, and it's cool. And I can also create my own template. Let's say that I want, I want to make this background different. I can, no problem. Let's see here. Maybe I want plaid. This would be cute for Christmas colors, green and this. You see how that happened there? That's cool. So I just changed my background color by just popping in something different, and it goes right in there, no problem. And then what I could do is change this to white so it's easier to read with the text. So there's so much that you can do here. It's ridiculous. Let's try uploading a picture to see what it looks like though in these. Yeah, it's kind of different, and you can't really move that picture once it goes in there. Oh, yes, you can. You click on it 2 times and then you go down like this. I thought there was a way to do that. So if I don't need the whole shirt to show, that's fine. You see how that is? And then now I can click the check mark, and now we can actually see what the shirt says. So that's cool. I would want maybe a different one like this, and I come in here, click 2 times, boom, move it down, check mark, and now we can see what 2 designs look like. They're going to get the idea that these are t-shirts, and you could also put on text overlay that says that it's a t-shirt. And I like to say who it's for, like t-shirt for what? Who is it for? Women? Is it for men? Is it for kids? Is it for all of the above? There's different things that you can do there to help you with that. So that's how you can use, that was, what was that? That was frames, wasn't it? So we've done grids, we've done frames. You've got all kinds of stuff in here. If you want to add extra lines, you can do that. It's awesome. This sometimes I use down here. If I want to make it bigger, I can. It actually turns into a shape like this. I could make it a different color very easily. And then I can pop in my logo right there so that the logo can still show up behind it. If I don't want it to be that big, I can make it smaller and have my logo go in there. Okay. You can also do that with shapes. I could do the same thing with a square, and I could even make it a square like this, which is where this came from, where maybe I do want the background to appear and I want that to be in a different spot, or I could get creative and put one over the other. I mean, there's so many things you can do here. If I want to make it like this, then I can use this instead, and I can do this and this. And you see how it's turning out the same, basically the same thing. So there's multiple ways of basically doing the same thing and achieving the same thing. You just need to spend time in here playing around with the different elements. So if I want a circle, I could do a circle. If I want a triangle, I can do a triangle. Many times I use these shapes as a creative way of trying to fit my logo in somehow, but by putting a shape in there, then it sneaks in something for the season. Especially like I could do a star and change the star color to white so that my logo will appear, and maybe this could be 4th of July stuff. And all I need is to pop on a star and change the background colors, you know, do different things. And then I've got it. So, you know, we started out with a template, and then we just keep changing stuff and changing stuff and changing stuff. Let's go back to our elements. We did the shapes, we did the lines. Illustrations. These are already done for you, some things. If you have a t-shirt about hiking, you might want a cute compass in there. That's free, so it's easy to use. If I have a t-shirt about hamburgers, which I do, I might want to put a shape of hamburgers in there. So instead of buy me pizza, buy me burgers. Something like this, and we can change the sizing so that it will fit in there better. Let's get it down smaller. And I can move out these corners a little bit to help make it bigger. You just have to move stuff around and play with it. Where I want this a little bit more readable, okay? So it's pretty easy peasy stuff. And And then I could have a picture of my my shirts in here somewhere and my logo somewhere. I could even get creative and put my logo maybe over the top of the hamburger. That would be interesting. I don't know if that would work. You have to play with that and find out. So those are the illustrations. If I want to do icons, these are just basic icons. They are things that you can change colors of, and you can use a lot of them that are free. So if I have a traveling t-shirt of the world and I don't want that blue color, so I change it. I make it black. I make it match the colors on the shirts. I make it red. I make it whatever and size it. And now I've got like a world traveler, cute little thing to put on there. And I could leave my background just a white color if I want. I don't always have to have a color background on pins. In fact, I would do one that is white and then do some that are different colors in the background. Let's come back up here. Let's do charts. And if you were making something informational, and you can make it a funny as well as a joke. Let's say that I want to use this one, and this could be like something funny. And let's see here, transparency, copy, change range. I wonder if it will let us change what's on the chart. I'm pretty sure it will. Yes. Okay. Now we've got the label over here is, whoops, sorry. Let's try it again. Label over here is item 1. That could be like a number of people who love, you can make up something funny and make this like a joke. The number of people who love burgers is like only 10. And then people who love pizza, people who love trying to think, tacos, nachos, and have as many as you want. If you don't want any of those, you don't have to have any of those, but that's what I've got. And it could be, you know, funny like that. Like this is what it is, and put it down here and be like, yeah, cupcakes are huge. So you got a, a cupcake t-shirt, or buy me cupcakes and I'm yours. And you've got some funny grid down here that shows that cupcakes are like number 1 in comparison to everything else. Or it could be like, well, what do you think? What do you love the most? And you could get something that's very, very engaging, where people start writing comments and they start talking about what they love. You know, it's almost like taking a poll in the comments, and they say, oh no, I like burgers more than I like nachos. Well, it's also going to give you more information, like, oh, well, maybe I should create some more products that are about hamburgers then, instead of this. So that's kind of a fun feature. So I'm hoping that you're actually, like, you know, looking at this stuff and playing around with it. So there's more and more and more here. Tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. They just keep adding more all the time. Wedding, travel, fashion, real estate, lifestyle, seasonal. You can take any of your pins that you've already created and make them seasonal by just popping in something. You can do a picture like this, and you can even set it as a background if you want. If I do, watch what will happen. If I just keep blowing it up big enough, it will pop in there. And then you see how everything just lays right over the top automatically for me. That's pretty cool. And then I can take it and I can shift it. Like maybe I want that part of the mountain. So I could do several of these using the same photo of a mountain, but in each one, I show a different part of the mountain. So it does look different. So there's one part of the mountain. Let's now do this part of the mountain. Now let's do this part of the mountain. Now we got 3 different pins. Ta-da! Easy peasy, right? Easy. So don't make this too hard. You can produce these things quickly. You just need to take the time to understand what is available to you inside of Canva and take advantage of that. It's kind of fun. I mean, I get carried away playing around in here. It's pretty cool. Here's a free picture, and I can blow it up, and if I want to, make it really big. And what I'm doing by making it big is I'm then only focusing on a certain part. Let's get rid of that element. And I could say, well, okay, I've got this pair. Maybe I want a pin where I've got 2 pairs in the picture. You see? There's different things you can do. Or maybe I want those. Ooh, that pair doesn't look so good. It's got like little wormholes in it. So we're going to go with these 2 over here. And, so one picture you can shift around and use it in multiple ways. Now, if you don't like their free pictures, they do have paid ones, but I actually like to go to other resources and get the pictures from there and upload them if they're really awesome looking pictures that not everyone else is doing. And I oftentimes pay for those pictures because there's less people using them and it makes your pins look even more unique. So that's how you can use Canva to make these things. And if I want to make a copy of that, boom, done. I've got another one down here, and maybe this one is not Buy Me Burgers, but it's Buy Me Pizza, and you could just, boom, make a copy of that. And it just, see how fast you can produce these? So quick and easy. Now you can only do up to 30 of these pages together like this. So I found that out is that you can, because I did it, and we found out that 30 is the limit. So no more than 30. And if I were you, if you were just focusing on making pins for just hamburgers, I would do like 5 to 10 at a time. And you just hit copy and just keep creating different ones. And now you make that a template for yourself. So you take the same thing, and instead of Buy Me Burgers, maybe you've got a t-shirt that says Buy Me Pizza. So you just change out the word burgers and put in pizza and change out your pictures of your shirts, and you're done. And you've already laid out your 5 pin designs that are 10, 5 to 10 that are totally different. See how easy that is? This stuff is easy, guys. So I know one of the biggest questions in the Pin Traffic Power group, the free group, was about how to make these pins quickly. And I mean, it's super easy, super, super easy. So hopefully you're getting some tips there about Canva that makes it easy, and you can use a free version. If you are wanting to use the paid version gives you an option of uploading your own fonts and your own, setting some color palettes. Okay, that version also allows you to invite a team member in. You will have to pay for a team member to also use your account, which is basically like paying for another Canva for the year or for $10 a month. So when you do that, then your team member is inside of your account, and whatever they create will remain inside of your account, so that down the road you can actually keep using those things as templates and just change out different elements easily and quickly in case you need to hire a different team member, change team members. You keep everything inside of your account. And I would insist on that. My VA at first, she wanted to do it inside of her Canva account. I says, nope, I want you to do it inside of my Canva account. We're going to keep all material here inside of my Canva account so that I have access to it very easily, and we can go back and reuse it as templates. So that's what we're doing. And she's a team member, so she actually logs into my Canva using her own password and her own email. So she has her account set up for herself. And then I basically just pay for that through my Canva account. Okay, so yeah, we were just talking about creating pins with Canva today. And I think I just answered this question. Can I make pins using the free Canva, or do you need it? No, you can make them with the free version. You don't have to pay, not at all. Awesome. Woohoo. Yay. And Jill, happy birthday. You just had a birthday not long ago. Woohoo. You're on an awesome trip. So, hey, thanks for hanging out while you're on the airplane, waiting to go back home. Hopefully it was an awesome trip for you. Something really fun that you're doing. You'll have to tell us what it's about when you come back. If there's any other questions, I can answer those real quick. If not, we'll stop. But that is how you do it. It's simple. It's easy. Get your account opened in canva.com. It's free to use. So there's no reason why you can't do this. And you could be popping those pins out really fast. You can even hire a team member to come in and do some of the work for you as well. That is it. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.